right, let's dive in. Today, we're not just talking about goals, we're actually building a practical blueprint for mastering any goal you set for yourself. This is all about turning that ambition you have into a real, tangible achievement. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. That huge surge of motivation at the start of a new project, or maybe on New Year's Day, and then, poof, it just fizzles out. You start off so strong, but somewhere along the line, that momentum just vanishes.
Well, what if you had a system, a clear plan, a blueprint that could guide you all the way from that first spark of an idea to the finished product? That's exactly what we're putting together today. A surefire way to make sure what you build actually matches the vision in your head.
So first, let's really get a handle on the problem. I like to call it the goal achievement gap.
And this is so important. The problem isn't you. It's not that you lack willpower or that you don't want it enough. Not at all. That gap exists because ambition without a system is really just a wish. What we need is a reliable process to follow. Okay, so how do we build that system? Well, it all starts with drafting the blueprint. This is that critical planning phase you have to do before you even think about starting the work. Think about it. A good architect doesn't just sketch a picture of a house, right? They plan out every single room, every wire, every potential issue. You've got to do the same thing. First up, take that huge, scary goal and just break it into bite-sized pieces. Suddenly, it's not so overwhelming. Then, be a realist. What's going to get in your way? A crazy week at work, a sudden dip in motivation, and finally, the game changer. Plan your comeback before you even stumble. That is how you stay on track.
So with that blueprint drafted and ready to go, it's time to start the actual construction. And this phase, it's all about building the daily habits that become the very foundation of your success. You know, discipline isn't just about adding new things to your to-do list. A huge part of it is actually demolition. You have to consciously tear down those old, unhelpful habits to make room for the new, positive ones. Think of it like a trade. Swap out 30 minutes of mindless social media scrolling in the morning for a 30-minute super-focused work session on your goal. It's a direct exchange. And this really highlights the sheer power of subtraction. Honestly, sometimes the most disciplined thing you can do is just stop doing the things that sabotage you. Turn off those notifications, clean your desk. You're not just trying to fight temptation anymore, you're removing it from the battlefield completely. Building good habits is the foundation, for sure. But how do you keep that energy high for the long haul? Well, the key is to constantly, and I mean constantly, fuel your motivation. This right here, this is your core power source. On those days when it just feels too hard, when you really don't want to show up, you have to connect back to your why. Why did you even start this? What's the deep down reason that's driving you? Keeping that purpose front and center isn't just a nice idea, it's non-negotiable. And hey, you also need to build in some reinforcement. Plan some meaningful rewards for when you hit those milestones. Look, this isn't about bribing yourself, it's about positive association. When your brain starts to connect getting something done with a genuine, enjoyable reward, it actually starts to crave the accomplishment itself. But listen, none of that mental work matters if the engine isn't running properly. A healthy body is what supports a disciplined mind. Getting enough sleep, eating good food, moving your body, these aren't luxuries. They are the essential fuel that you need for focus, for resilience, and for consistency. And that brings us to the final and, maybe the most important piece of this whole blueprint. Adopting the mindset of progress, not perfection. The perfectionist mindset is so fragile. One missed day, one tiny mistake, and the whole thing feels like a total failure. But the progress mindset, that's tough. That's resilient. It fully expects setbacks, and it sees them as a normal and even useful part of the journey. So let's just redefine the word setback right now. It is not a stop sign. Think of it more like your GPS recalculating the route. It's just a data point telling you, hey, this isn't working, let's try something else. You just acknowledge the slip-up, you learn from it, and you get right back on the path. No drama needed. So there it is, your completed blueprint. It starts with a solid plan, it's built with good habits, it's fueled by a strong sense of purpose and self-care, and it's all held together with a resilient mindset that values progress over that impossible standard of perfection. You now have the system. You have the blueprint for turning pretty much any ambition into a reality.
So the only question left is, what are you going to build first?